culture.
Support HART culture. Keep watching. Be there all time. Babylon. All right.
Okay, so is everybody well watered and fed? That's the question. We're going to get going. We've got various categories to go through, and obviously we're just running a bit behind time, so probably won't go into detail into everybody. But we're going to try and strike up a conversation with you, because I'm sure most of you identify with some of these powerful women actually that are on the presentation today. I'm going to start with arts and culture, and I'm pretty much going to read through that, yes, and before that I'm going to introduce ourselves. I'm Shemaya Hart and Andrea Campbell. Andrea Campbell is an award-winning author for Jamaican life, character and success. And they're brilliant books basically which are being launched today and which you have the opportunity to purchase afterwards. That really looks at Jamaican culture in a really innovative way. We're looking at sort of languages, it's looking at proverbs, looking at various colloquialisms, people and places that you can really understand. I read these books, I pretty much read through them really, really quickly because they were so easy to read. So I would certainly recommend to have a flip through them. Okay. So the first person we're going to start with is the category is arts and culture. As we move on, I'm going to move into conversation with Andrea, and then I'd like to invite any of you that have any knowledge here today or have any kind of any comments to say really to basically converse with us because it's in conversation, so it's also filmed as well. So we really want to generate a kind of conversation with you here today about these women. Okay. So the first person we're starting with is Miss Lou Bennett. Miss Lou Bennett is actually, she's a poet, she's a linguist, a storyteller, a broadcaster and cultural activist. But I think Miss Bennett is basically, I would say a lot of people would identify with Miss Lou Bennett, probably way past my generation. So I don't think I can really do her justice to actually go through what she's done here. So we will actually revisit Miss Lou a bit afterwards with Andrea.
I'm sorry, okay. Isn't she actually Mrs. Coverley?
Sorry?
Louise Bennett Coverley.
Miss Bennett, but Louise Bennett, Mrs. Coverley.
She's Dr. the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's what you're
Doctor,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we're going to go into a bit more depth a bit later on because I don't think I can do it just at the moment. So we're going to move on to Barbara Campbell. Has anyone here heard of Barbara Campbell?
Yeah.
Barbara Campbell, yeah. Barbara Campbell is a publisher, and she publishes Black History Month. And if you haven't heard of her, I would say definitely to look her up online. She has been a sort of a veteran, as it were, not just for Jamaicans, but also Caribbeans generally. She has written a publication called Black History Month, and she goes around basically chronicling events that are happening, live events that are happening. She writes articles, and she really basically keeps up to date with what's going on in the community. So it's quite accurate, the work that she's done. I believe she's also got many awards for the work that she's done as well. So she's definitely one to look out for in the near future in terms of publishing on Black issues. Okay. The next I'd like to move on to is Nadine Gooden. Okay. Nadine Gooden is a linguist and entrepreneur who actually speaks 5 languages, including Spanish, French, Japanese, and Mandarin. Again, I think she'd probably be more Has anyone here heard of Nadine Gooden? How many people have we got here, Jamaicans here, that are born in UK? And how many born in Jamaica? Okay. I think then it's probably fair to say that I think coming from Jamaica, as in being born in Jamaica, most people probably identify with Nadine Gooden, but she has done exceptional work basically across the field of entrepreneurialism, especially when it comes to translation as well. And I think again that's quite a rare gift in our community, especially in Britain as well. The next person we're going to go on to is the Honourable Barbara Gluden, who is a journalist. She's a first woman of letters. She's an author. She's a playwright. She's a talk show host, lecturer, cultural activist, and in terms of dedicating and preserving cultural authenticity of Jamaican theatre. Is there anybody in the room that owns a business or would call themselves an entrepreneur? Is there anyone thinking of starting up a business? Oh, we've got one. Okay, what is the name of your company or organisation?
Spirit of Change.
Spirit of Change. Okay, and how long has it been going for?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. When you were starting up your company, did anybody from maybe Jamaican heritage or Caribbean community kind of influence you in terms of where you wanted to go in entrepreneurialism at all?
Actually, my dream came from a man. It was Dr. Vince Hines, who way back about 30 odd years ago I read his book. It was called The Movement for Change.
Okay.
And it was all about the community setting up business. And I read that on the plane going on holiday to Antigua. I'm not Jamaican. Going to Antigua in the summer holidays, and I realised at that point that I wanted to start a business.
Okay.
And that's what spurred me on. So it was a black man that inspired me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked one of those questions because one of the things we do is at HART Culture is we try to support businesses, grassroots organisations that are trying to set up their businesses and try to give them ongoing support via consultation. So basically, one thing I'd like, especially the women that are here today, is if you've not thought about going on into entrepreneurialism, or if you've not thought about setting up your own business or company or your own sort of profession, I would certainly hope that you can take inspiration from some of these women here today. So thank you for that. The next person I'm going to is Althea Lang. Althea Lang pioneered basically modelling in Jamaica, and obviously was one of the Caribbean's first models to appear on the cover of the international magazine Essence. So I think basically, I know in the UK it's very tough for people with non-traditional looks, i.e. people from ethnic minority backgrounds, to make it onto the front of Vogue or Tatler magazine or Esquire or any of those magazines. And one of the things we're trying to do is we're trying to push and to promote this idea that just because you are different, it doesn't mean that your look cannot be commercialised or you cannot reach out to wider audiences. And I think the best way that we can do that again, there's been some accolades, some real influential people like Mahogany Models who have been solely representing black models or models from ethnic backgrounds, and basically making their sort of promoting fashion, ethnic fashion trends. So when it comes to, I think, Althea Lang's success in modelling, I think obviously it is down to determination, but the success that she has had as a model, a Jamaican model, has been pretty incredible. She did a lot of McDonald's adverts as well, which is huge, highly commercial. We're talking about international companies. It's a global company, obviously, and let's have a look here. Okay, yeah, and also she went on to do a bit of social activism as well. So, I mean, basically, I think as we go along, some of these outstanding women, a lot of them have been successful in their fields and in their trades, But one thing that they have gone on to do, especially as Jamaicans, is be active when it comes to social, when it comes to a kind of social mobilisation, when it comes to raising awareness. Because even though we do have success in that sense, especially on a worldwide stage and platform, there is still a sort of an appropriation and explanation almost, and a sort of encouragement that we have to bring along with it to